Dark. Classic. Match 1. DRG. Dream. Match 2. Africa TV Freak Up Studio Live. 2022 GSL Season 1 Code S.
We're back at GSL, and we're ready for the second best of 3 in Group A. Dark did defeat Classic one game. Look, man, a straight-up mid-game cheese. Nidus Worm. Do I need to say more? And the second game did look like, a very standard, patch. In spite of the patch, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It did look like a pretty classic air fleet versus air fleet fight where Zerg was able to overpower the Protoss in the end, not just with unit composition, but with enough bases on the map. Now we go to a TVZ here. DRG versus Dream.
Yeah, this could be a really interesting one. DRG definitely still has a very strong Zerg versus Terran. I'm still secretly hoping that he can make another deep run. He did have that really great season where I think he lost to Rogue in the round of 8 or something. But yeah, he's been a little bit hit or miss, I guess is the right way to put it.
Sure.
Definitely has some weaknesses in each matchup. And this guy, Dream, he's been pretty damn good. As you can see, he's had some good seasons. He's gotten pretty deep and done pretty consistently well. His DBZ, I think, is pretty good, but it seems like he hits Rogue all the time, which is,
right.
That brings your win rate way down. Yeah, let's see what he's got here against DRG.
Yet, Dream's got a very modern style. DRG's actually brought out kind of an older Zerg style and made it work several times over.
Yeah.
I think just very mechanically clean overall.
Yeah.
I do feel like DRG is still a player that can approach the game in a new way or in an old way, and it still looks pretty good.
Whoa, where'd DRG go?
He's unburrowing.
Sorry, I don't have object permanence. I was like, oh no!
It's Dream versus an empty chair!
But yeah, I wonder if DRG is going to try to use that older style. Also, I wonder if he's cleaned up some of the things that have hurt him before, like his dealing with Widowmine drops, that type of thing he's had a hard time with more recently. But definitely still has that macro skill for ZVT.
Yeah. And we're going to be hopping into this game 1 momentarily. It's going to be Hardware, Roughneck, and Blackburn for our 3 maps in this best of 3. And our game has now loaded up. Guys, this is game 1, DRG versus Dream. The winner faces off against Dark in the winner's match.
2022 GSL Season 1. Team MB, DRG.
All right.
Oh, already.
Gotta do it.
Yeah. Get another bottle of water and come back, and there's 2 barracks being made right here at the 9 o'clock spot on the mini map. It looks like it's just out of the vision range of the Overlord.
Yeah, the second one might end up seeing it, but it's going to be quite a bit later.
Right. 3 racks.
Oh boy. Okay, it will end up seeing it.
Yeah, it'll see it. Every second that you see it advance helps. So.
Definitely very, very important. He's not going to be able to prevent any of them from being built or anything. It's not that quick of a scout, but at least he does see it now.
Okay, so he knows.
And he's going to veer away, so Dream's not actually going to know that he knows.
Yeah, that's important, man. Because Dream may be operating off the assumption that the drone scout is actually the moment of confirmation, and there's a little bit of a maybe 7-8 second gap in between there. The bunker starts.
Yeah, drone going to come back and can put some damage on that SCV at least. Now, DRG, let's see how hard he battles here. The spawning pool is about to finish. Ooh, doesn't quite save that drone, unfortunately.
Dude, okay.
Very, very important moment right there, canceling that first bunker.
Yeah. when the bunker finishes, it gets a lot harder to deal with the SCVs repairing, the Marines doing damage. And the drones are being pulled. I feel like Dream is actually almost doing a perfect job as far as execution here. Like,
it does look that way. We have Zerglings actually out now. The drone's coming up for this surround. He does have that spine coming up. Queen being made as well. This is a pretty good surround, but the bunker is going to finish.
Yes, it is. And one Marine is most certainly going to get inside. The second Marine, probably not.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. It does get in there.
What a solid hold.
Yeah, great job here by
done.
DRG. All things considered, though, I mean, how many drones are actually killed off back there, though? I lost count. Three total.
And all 3 SCVs died. Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is pretty darn good for DRG. This is like a 2-racks play. The transition out of it is so much easier here for Dream. But as is, he's going to have to continue to make these Marines while he figures out what to do at home with himself.
Yeah. It's funny because it started out so well for Dream. I mean, it really looked like his execution was spot on.
Yeah.
Now he can try to throw a command center down here.
Okay.
But, you know, it's really tough to make anything work with the 3 barracks on the minimap after the attack hasn't really, you know, done that kind of damage, right? I mean, from here, you're actually almost more scared with your Marines. And he has to decide, when does he want to send these barracks back home? Or maybe just send 2 home and scout with 1.
Very, very annoying, this one Ling coming back. Another Ling does come up to join it. Got to get that SCV. Definitely DRG's got to be feeling good about his position right now, making a couple queens at home. Some Marines coming back to clean this all up. Still producing Marines out of those forward barracks.
So he never moved the barracks. You know, whenever I see this kind of stuff, I always think of Maru, you know, who did this so many times. But Maru had a little bit of a different approach. We would not ever really see Maru keep. Oh, okay, well that's why. We would not ever see Maru keep the barracks there. The idea was to shift gears as safely as possible. And what Dream's done is he's basically, it looked a little confusing, I think, to you guys at home as well for us, but he made a command center and then kept the barracks there. The command center was a red herring. And really, what's going to happen now is he's pulled the boys. All the boys are going to be coming here.
Yeah, all the drones coming down as well. 3 more spines being made. And here come the SCVs out into the front, so they're going to be able to tank quite a bit. The damage output of the Marines is super, super high here.
Yeah, he's got some transfuses there on the spines. The second spine finishes up. The drones come in here for a surround.
Wow.
This should actually force the Marines to spread their damage in a way that's not going to be that efficient. And I think that the Zerg is going to be fine. I think Dream has basically lost this game.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's enough damage there now. One of the spines being moved over to the side comes in as the reroute is happening, so definitely the best opportunity here. But the micro of DRG is solid. The defense is solid. GG is called. Yeah. All right. That was just a very solid play from DRG overall.
Yeah, very cheesy play from Dream. I think a lot of cool ideas with it. But really, like a perfect performance for DRG, shutting down Terran cheese scum.
Yeah.
But I do like the fake command center. I think that Dream was already kind of onto it, where he's like, your barracks are still there. That means that I really don't have to do anything other than make Lings.
Yeah, I thought he would make like 6 Marines or so and then go home. But when he kept making it, I think DRG did read into it because he started 3 more spines.
Yeah. He knew what was going on, and, you know, that was, I guess, not a bad attempt from Dream. Kind of trying to throw DRG off with that rush, but I think DRG's fundamentals are too good. They were always that good. I mean, that's a strategy we could have seen, you know, 9 years ago or so. And I think DRG still holds the same way. We go to Roughneck here.
All right, our first game on Roughneck.
I'd say maybe the best named map ever, you know.
What is a Roughneck? It's like, is it like a cowboy?
I think a Roughneck, yeah, it's like somebody who likes to roughhouse. Can it be, you know, likes to wrestle?
Likes to wrestle?
Let me look up
a
the
wrestler?
word. A wrestler? No, not a wrestler, but he might ask you to wrestle.
Oh, okay.
That's very different from wrestle, okay? Roughneck.
I feel like Roughneck, wasn't that like a company in a war or something?
roughneck is a term for a person whose occupation is hard manual labor. Got it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, look at us. We're
So
totally...
the exact opposite of you and I.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's why we don't know what the word is.
Yeah. So we do have an SCV already up on the map. Proxy Barracks
Making
play.
that barracks, that's probably a bit of a roughneck SCV, if I had to say so.
Is that? Yeah, I guess it would be.
Yeah, it's manual labor.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't know what that term meant at all.
Well, there's ways that I don't think it's that.
I thought a
use of
roughneck
a
was
word.
like sort of a maybe like a redneck, but would, you know, you talk back to me to try to wrestle you, but turns out my whole wrestle joke has nothing to do with anything. I'm lost. I'm lost, Artosis.
Yeah.
You talk.
Okay. Well, DRG finds this right away. You know, obviously he held last time against 3 racks.
Yeah, let me tell you something. This is a great feeling for Dream right now.
Well, I mean, if you want to do this twice, I don't think that there's any complaining to be done, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if this is the way you're going to approach your series, you have every right to do that. But when he finds you both times, it's like, yes, okay, this is...
When the drone comes to your base, or not your base, your barracks, and you get spotted, you just go, yes, it's working.
Yeah, these...
Oh,
very cute.
okay. I don't know about the surface area, but I think the drones barely do enough damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah, good pullback there on the injured one as well. Brings more drones down.
But look at this. Now, I will say that's a cool usage of surface area. But the weird thing is now the Marines can't get up to defend this other bunker. Not that he's going to go attack.
Well, I guess when this one finishes, you can do the little load-unload, right? Pop them out on that side.
Yeah, but I think it doesn't...
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be working all that well. Like, I like the idea of utilizing that tiny little choke. But I think DRG just holds everything even easier than last time. But to be fair here, it's a 2 barracks proxy, so you can actually transition out of that a lot better.
Yeah, that is true. A 3 barracks, you know, you're really kind of stuck doing what you're doing, because if you try to transition out of it, they can just punish you too hard.
But he sent like at least 2 more SCVs or 3 more SCVs, so he had 4 to 5 SCVs on the map, so he kind of hurt his own economy quite a bit like that as well.
Right. And he floats both back instead of scouting with one, but I guess this is, I don't know, we'll let this game stand on its own. I mean, there's got to be more than one way to do this.
I would hope so, yeah.
You know, there's actually only one way to do this. So now I'm really curious to see what DRG's follow-up is.
I think he's going to make drones for a while, Tasteless.
But I mean, after that, Artosis, where does it go from there?
Maybe Zergling speed?
You're very brave as a caster.
A lair, perhaps?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, what I love about your casting, Artosis, is you say what the other casters won't. That the Zerg will go for Ling speed.
Yeah.
Now, again, you know, on paper, when we see Terrans do any kind of rush like that and the Zerg just doesn't really lose anything, you have to assume that the Zerg is going to be ahead, but it's always interesting to see how the player post-rush tries to, you know, get back in the saddle, so to speak. So, you know, in this game, we actually have another command center being made already.
Yeah, going up 3 command centers immediately, which is, you know, a pretty good follow-up. Like, if you... To make just one, I think doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because you're just... The Zerg is going to fly by you, right? Here, you've already got some Marines out. You're kind of safe overall. You can be a little bit greedy. He is making a Viking here as well to push back some of these Overlords. Get some scouting done for him as well, maybe. Single Hellion on the map, but not going to find a way in right now.
Okay, you can see now Terran's still using the Hellion to try to spot. You know, is Zerg going to keep growing? What do they have in store exactly? That layer's almost done. I would guess we're going to see a Spire start up here in a second.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And there is that Spire. So DRG is going to get into what he is best at here, Lingbane Muta.
Yeah.
And that could be pretty tough for Dream to fight against, honestly.
Well, I think this is a good way to do this. I'm not just saying that because DRG is doing it, but in general, you know, Lingbane Muta, the whole idea is you try to take a fight you get the Banelings to connect with really thick, juicy targets, i.e. the Marines on the ground. And if you win that a couple times, the Terran just really can't do anything. You kind of win. You win the game in the mid game, and then you end the game a little bit later, if that makes sense. And so that's probably what we're seeing set up here now. And to be honest, man, I'm kind of bummed out that we didn't get to see how Dream would play in a more normal game, because, like, look, okay, so the all-in doesn't work in game 1, fine, but I want to see what he looks like in a pretty standard play.
Oh, you mean just like completely standard opener? Some Hellions running around, that type of thing?
Yeah. Trying to push, you know, the back and forth.
This might turn into just a standard macro game here, but I do think that DRG is going to be feeling pretty on top of things, right? Like, he's getting into his mutas so quickly here, and in comparison to where Dream's at.
And, you know, honestly, I mean, if you're DRG, this is probably the ideal situation, is you shut down Cheese and then you have to play a game where you're pretty much ahead. Because those games, all you have to do is like keep checking all your boxes in macro and scouting and doing everything, and most likely you're going to take an attack.
Mutas are out. There are a few Banes around. Viking continues to clear things. The Spine is sitting here to kind of slow this incoming attack. A lot of creep being taken out. Muta's not turning around to chase those medevacs. Does have a lot of Lings in his main base to catch him, though.
So the Mutas have gathered up over here. And again, you know, he skipped on turrets. I understand it because you're trying to get ahead here, but this is one of the things that Mutas can do to punish that. I mean, you know, he's got the Marines. He's going to try to chase that around, but here's DRG taking another big jab at Dream here, and there's just not a whole lot Dream can do. And I'm not really blaming Dream for not having turrets, because again, if you make turrets, the Mutas can't do damage, but then your push is not going to be as strong. So, you know, let's say there was a world where DRG didn't go for the Mutas. I think that Dream might have had another opportunity to have a much stronger set, a much stronger macro phase, I guess is the term I'm trying to use. But it's not going to happen. And so he comes in there, he weakens him overall. 1-1's going to finish, and I think that really presses the Terran to do something.
Yeah.
So that something is happening right now. We've got the infantry ready to move out. Oh no.
This doesn't feel good. Like, Baneling speed's about to finish, so even though he has a 2 upgrade advantage, which is normally huge in a situation like this, just the overall supply is so DRG favored. His economy is way, way better. His creep spread is good enough. The Muta's super active. This is, like, DRG's game to lose.
Yeah, no, I think there's almost no way DRG can lose this.
Yeah, it would be a difficult one.
Yeah. I mean, basically, you stop them early on. Now every opportunity you punish, you take it, and you don't ever need to overcommit, because, you know, the way that the whole rhythm of a game like this pans out for the Zerg, in this case, who's ahead, is that the Zerg can keep growing, and the Terran basically has to try to stop him. Now, that's what a normal ZVT sounds like as well, except this time the Zerg started out with a lead by holding the double proxy racks bunker play.
Yeah, the lead just has gotten so much better after the Needless harassment as well. It's been very, very strong harassment. Tons of SCVs killed off. I mean, Dream has recovered his SCV count. 60's not bad.
Sure.
But he's down 20 supply against Ling Bane Muta, which is, like, you don't get much more supply efficient than the Baneling.
No, I do not think you do, man. It is, dare I say, a good unit.
It's all right. Muta's pretty good, too.
Yeah, they're okay. I mean, hey.
Mine's not too bad.
We need to bring the Brood War Scourge into the game, but make that also a Baneling. You thought splash damage was good on the ground, man. Wait till you see it in the air when they're clumped.
Craziness.
So, I don't know if Zerg wants to fully attack in here, but the supplies are getting to the point where the Zerg might just consider it.
All right, DRG taking out a mine there, being a little bit more on top of it now. The creep spread is getting pretty crazy. Throwing these rocks, using Banelings a little bit by accident. Drilling Claws on the way, some Thors being added in. Like, these are good tools. Are they going to be a little bit too late, though? Seems like DRG is in so much control.
Yeah, DRG Setting up to press another attack in or now. We got to watch these Banes down here. They're going to go right by that Thor and towards the natural. The lift is late. The SCVs massacred, at least 11 of them. And the Zerg already remaxing out.
Yeah, DRG. I mean, he's got a lot of income right now. Tons of map control as well. Muta's rotating around towards the back of the natural. Looks like there is enough defense there. Burrows those mines. Drilling Claw's not quite ready.
And there is a fourth that's been up for a little bit now for Dream. We don't see an attack over there yet, but that is a point we probably want to draw some attention to in future fights because, you know, the Zerg, again, still ahead right now, but Terran's steadily catching up. You know, is he going to be able to come down there and stop that? We do have the Zerg also taking this very, very remote base here in the bottom left.
Yeah. That one's pretty far out there.
Yeah.
I also see that like a lot of spines being made. Not sure exactly where they're at, but I think he's just starting to shore up defenses against possible medevacs coming out, right? Because the game is getting really big, and that's going to be... You're not going to notice if Dream is missing, you know, 10 supply that's flying around trying to kill drones. So I like that a lot. Oh
Damn.
My God!
It doesn't get better than that for mine attacks. That was insane.
Just crazy mines right there against those Banes. So DRG getting a bit wasteful here, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean...
A little bit of slop going on.
Little slip
Little
slop.
pig pen.
Little slop a bop. I can't believe he was that cavalier with the Banelings.
That cavalier. I like it. That cavalier on the map, roughneck. Lots of words today from the 1800s.
Casters and their words. So he lost, like, I don't even know how much gas with those Banes. All the Bane has to do to succeed is to hit, you know, high-value targets, and it way pays for itself. But that's a moment where, like, it literally couldn't have been worse.
DRG, he's still max. He's still got great creep spread. He's still got a lot of bases, a lot of drones.
You know, map-wise, this kind of looks like Dark Classic, but I think Dream now in a better spot than Classic ever was.
Sorry, say that one more time?
So this map, you know, I mean, obviously it's a different matchup, but, you know, it kind of looks like the position Classic was in here, the one that Dream's in.
Oh,
but I think Dream's actually in a better spot than Classic ever was.
Yeah, no, I thought that's what you said, and I was like, Classics.
I said slip, slop, beep, bop.
Yeah.
Try to pay attention.
No, you make it always makes sense. Okay, yeah, I kind of see what you mean there, right? He doesn't have that many bases. We'll see if he's able to get more. Oh, Dream. I mean, so cost efficient, right? You're really utilizing those rocks as well. The Baneling's going through almost single file. And Dream, I mean, he takes a bit of a supply lead there as far as Army for a moment. So many upgrades still being made here for DRG, getting ready for those Ultras as well. A Reaper on the way. Not exactly sure why.
He's going for a late game Reaper.
Dude, I want this to not be a mistake. I don't want this to be like, you know how Zerg players always get like one Swarm host late game?
Yeah.
And when you ask them, they're like, yeah, no, it's just a misclick. I'm like, oh, everyone makes that exact same misclick with different hockeys every game? No, no. Okay? It's some sort of dog whistle that non-Zerg players don't quite understand.
That's right. Something's
They're
going
signaling
on there.
each other.
What are they saying? Well, this time we have the Reaper. We're going to find out there was stuff that happened to the Reaper we didn't see in the patch notes. Can fire a nuke.
Watch, he's just going to throw a grenade to make Banes bounce everywhere. It's going to be great. Okay, this planetary, not long for this world. Going to be taken out very easily by this Many-Ling Bane.
His Thor's quick, jump off the cliff into the water.
He does have turtle feet, so I mean, that could work. Might be a good swimmer, I don't know. I wish we had water.
Is it true that the Thor can breathe underwater?
It's a robot. I mean,
are you sure?
In Pacific Rim, those robots kind of, they could go underwater.
No, don't judge me. I thought I saw gills on the side of the Thor.
The whole final battle was underwater, in fact. Which is like kind of dumb because it makes everything slower.
Well, you forgot, Artosis, this movie's not dumb. Don't you remember the dinosaurs were originally kaijus?
Yeah, no, the movie itself wasn't dumb, but having that last fight scene, the movie is great, Tasteless.
The movie's a work of art.
It's a work of art. Need more movies like that.
Well, Terran's still kind of hanging on here.
Yeah.
They've taken another base just to the north of this spot over here. But I will say, DRG, he's still been ahead this whole time. He's taken some big wins here, like wiping out those 14 SCVs. But Dream continues to hang on. I do want to say, though, it does seem like now that we're getting to see like a game on this map that we're both casting, these exterior bases, I'm talking bottom left and top right, they feel really far away from the Terran no matter how you cut it, no matter which side of the map you spawn.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's not like you got another base nearby where you can have like a 2-base defense with your army. So definitely a little bit difficult. A lot of Bling Bane coming in right now.
Again, not that efficient, but doesn't need to be. The command center goes down. Another 14 SCVs have been killed.
Yeah, look at this. Everything getting completely wiped. The Lings and Banes can't quite clear out these ghosts, but he does get the Liberators.
And what now? I mean, the ghosts can actually push out. The problem is I don't see Terran have any kind of sustained fight over here at the bottom left. The drop's going to be inbound. 2 spines here to answer that, although the drop could just go right over it and into the back. But, again, when you get the creep spread out far enough, man, it's a pretty long journey and a pretty big ask for the Terran. And it also seems like the way this map is shaped, like in this case, with Zerg at the top left, Zerg gets the left side of the map kind of defaulted in the middle. They also seem to sort of default into the top right. It seems like in some ways this map exaggerates some of the issues in the matchup. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Well, it's always hard for a Terran to get outside of their quadrant.
Right.
And the thing is, the top right, bottom left, like you mentioned, are so far outside the quadrant that it just doesn't seem like a very Terran base. So, couldn't really disagree with that. The Muta's continuing to just wreak havoc here. I think Dream is basically running out of gas.
Well, it's starting to get a little bit ridiculous here, these attacks from DRG.
Yeah.
They just keep working and working and working. We basically just watched footage of Terran getting murdered for about 5 minutes here.
Yeah, and Dream had actually a pretty darn strong mid-game. But DRG, he got a bit too big, and this is what he does. Like, his macro is super on point. GG is called, and that is a 2-0 right there. Looks like we're gonna have a ZVZ winners match.
Yep, let's get the Zeds ready.
Get the Zeds ready.
Get your Zeds out.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the last letter in the alphabet. 2 times. 2 of them.
That's right. A matchup that everyone in StarCraft 2 has grown to love.
That's right. Finally, the other races are out of the way. Rough series here for Dream. He did not... Some of this just goes back to the openers. I mean, when you commit with infrastructure adjacent to their base and it doesn't work. Yeah, you're not going to be in a good spot mid-game, and against somebody like DRG, you're probably not going to be in a safe spot late game. That's that. Up next, guys, the winners match to decide who goes to the next stage of the GSL. Coming up after the short break. Don't go away.